But like how you said earlier, how men are taught to like suppress their emotions. That comes from a little boy. So there's this big disconnect I feel between men and women, and it comes from little boys are taught by the men in their lives and even by the mothers and women to not cry when something happens.
We don't cry.
Right? But boys don't cry. Stop crying. We don't cry, right? And girls aren't taught that. So what happens when you got a little boy and a little girl, same age, and you take away both of their toys? They're both going to start crying. They're both going to start crying because they're both human. And they're both sad that you took their toy away from them. So they both authentically have the same reaction, which is distress and, and unhappiness. But for some reason, we tell the boy, no, suppress that shit. Don't cry. You're not supposed to cry, boys. So boys have to be, while girls can be like, ah,
Yeah.
And we're allowed to just emotional and just let it all out, right? That's what boys are taught. Another thing, and then girls on one side are also being taught princess stories, the fairy tale ending, the Prince Charming, the happily ever after. We fall in love with that story.
Fairy tales.
We become addicted to that story all through our teenage years, adolescence, 30s, 40s, 50s. We can't let that go. That a happy relationship is supposed to be like Ariel and Eric from The Little Mermaid. Beauty and the Beast. Like,
Girl, they had their troubles though.
they all do. But what happens at the end? Yeah. At the end, and it's always the same story. The man is fighting for the woman to be with her no matter what, And to her, he's like, you never see them arguing. What princess movie are they like, you know what? You need to take the trash out. Blah, 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 blah. Like, we don't see that. It's like this beautiful story. So in our heads, we grow up thinking that's what we're aiming for. What happens to boys when boys are being raised, especially like in their teenage adolescent years? They're taught to have multiple girlfriends, especially by the older male influences in their life. They'll be like, oh, how many girlfriends you got at school, huh? You got 2, 3 girlfriends? I knew my boy. That's my boy, That's what boys are taught. Like, that's what they're praised for. And then we continue to go into adolescence. Don't be a hoe. Don't be a whore. Keep your legs closed. Don't be a slut. So we teaching the boys to hoe around, but the girls got to keep their legs closed. Mm-hmm. Do you see where the disconnect is already starting at the earliest age? At the earliest stage possible. We're raising our generation to kind of go like this. And how are we supposed to come together and build a family and have a union when we're completely raising them with different theories in their heads? Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.